Welcome to the part 17. We will look at some more questions on Azure AI fundamentals. There are a lot of videos in the members area. Cloud kernel or Cloud Ninja members can access. Join and become a member, gain access to those important parts. So this one says which two components can you drag on a canvas in machine learning designer? This is a good video on machine learning designer. You see this, you can do classification and regression and so on. So you don't have to write code. It is all drag drop UI based. So this is the canvas, you can say, or editor. You can drag drop from left and put it here.
From your
So
local
you can
computer
test it
to
with
test
code,
what it
all
means
these
to score
things.
the model. And I'm going to do this, use
There
the
is a
sample
test
here,
in the
and you will
module
see the
that test
actual
data.
prediction to verify your model.
Features in
This
the
is
Azure
all
Machine
about
Learning
no
Designer. Make
code
sure you check it out.
learning.
Thanks for watching.
And here there is one important article on deep learning versus ML. A good diagram which explains deep learning here, ML here, and AI. So a lot of people think ML and AI are same. So ML is a subset of AI and deep learning is a subset of ML. I will post this link in the description so that you can go through this important differentiation between the concepts of deep learning and ML. On that link, do visit this portion also. And there is also a concept of transfer learning. This technique applies knowledge gained from solving one problem to a different related problem. Okay, you extinguish a fire next, and that fire was in a home, suppose. Next time the fire is in a shop, the you would still be able to do that because it is similar in nature. So coming back to our question here, the two components that you can drag are data set. First you need data for your training, test data, train data, and then which module you would use. The modules, there are different data transformation modules or feature engineering modules, data splitting modules. So these things are used in your designing. See here, this is next question where you need to create a training data set and validation data set from existing data set. So you have this data set, you want to split it into two. One would be your training data set, the other would be your validation data set. Same existing data set you have to split into two. So you can configure that this data I want to use for training, and this other data set I want to use for validation. So if you have split the data and you're telling, okay, chunk 2 I will use for validation. This is chunk 2 I want to use for validation. You can set the validation data parameter in your AutoML config object. So when you are using Python and you have AutoML config parameter, there you see this, we are putting training data and we are putting validation data. And what task are we performing here? We are performing classification. Okay, the data, where is the data? It is here. See, the thing is, if you just provide only single data set, so validation parameter is not set there. It is going to only set training data parameter. That means all data will be considered as training data. So you have to provide validation set size. See here, see this initial training data, from that it will be split. So the values, if you put between 0 0.0 and 1.0, that you will be setting as a validation size. So here you see validation size they have set as 0.2. 0.2 means 20% of data it will just randomly pick, split and use for validation. Okay, so I explained the concept. I'll put that link also in the description, but this question is relatively very simple. It is just saying I want to split the data. What model should I use? So you should use, see, common sense. Even if you use common sense, you see split data. See, join data you will not use, no, because you want to break the data set. So why will you join it? Add rows also not required because you already have a data set. So why would you add rows? Always in machine learning, remember that if you have say 100 rows, we would not add more rows for validation data. We would split that file as training data set and validation data set. Okay, great. Now let us look at this next question. See, in a certification, you will get such questions. It looks like one question, but it is actually three questions. There are three questions. So you want to predict how many minutes late a flight will arrive based on the amount of snowfall at the airport. So you must have seen such news where snowfall disrupts flight operations. So snowfall, because the visibility is not there and the roads or the runway becomes slippery, so the snowfalls can disrupt. Okay, so I heard that Sheikh Hasina, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, is kind of fleeing away because of the protests and she has resigned. There may be threats to her life. She may be going to London. So if you want to predict how many minutes the flight will be late, so the we always remember, right? Regression is always to do with prediction. So regression is always something to do with prediction. Regression equals prediction. Okay, R equals P. Regression equals prediction. Now the next one is saying that you have to segment the customers. You want to segment the customers into different groups to support a marketing requirement. So segment means you are creating clusters, clustering. See, you have different clustering mechanisms. K means is very common. Anybody tells you about ML asks, okay, what clustering you have used or what uh, type of ML models you have used. So go for clustering, classification, prediction. These three always common. Clustering, classification, prediction. Clustering, classification, prediction. CCP. CCP. Within clustering, key means is very common. That means know your nearest neighbor. That means any outlier, if you find, no, you can exclude it. So this helps you identify what are outliers. So suppose every day you get up at 5 a.m. For 100 days, just one day you woke up at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. is outlier. Can we tell you that, oh, this guy should I take this into consideration that I should average out, and then I come to know that okay, this guy instead of 5 a.m. I would say okay, the average comes to 5:30 a.m. He wakes up at 5:30 a.m. on an average. No, that is wrong. I will have to remove that outlier because that just happened so rare. So this is one form of clustering. I will share this link also in the description. You can read it. It will help you build these concepts around modeling and clustering. Now the third one is where we are saying we want to predict a student will complete a university course or not. So basically you are identifying, you are classifying which students will not uh, will complete or will not complete. You are trying to classify that data. You are classifying these students. So there are some students may be high performance students, they are getting more than 95% or a GPA 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. So we know that these guys will definitely clear and complete the university courses. But people who are scoring 4 or 5, there may be problems there. So that is first thing is classify it. So this is our final answer. If you have not become member, do so. Cloud Kernel and Cloud Ninja members, they can have explicit access to a lot more questions we have posted in the previous parts also, which are in the members area. So this is the end of part 17. I hope you understood the concepts and you go through the links that I am posting in the description.